Welcome everyone to our session, to our panel session. Thank you for sticking around during your lunch break. So on the menu there's some innovation, the innovation and startup ecosystem from Austria. My name is David, I'm from Advantage Austria Seoul and I will be your host for today. You will get to know the trade relations between Austria and Korea, the innovative startup ecosystem in Austria. You will learn how you can use Austria as a strategic hub for your expansion to the European market and how to unlock the potential there, and also what amazing communities there exist here. So with me on the stage, as already kindly introduced, is Ms. Reka. She's the head of the Bold community. She's building a global network community of innovators. Then we have Mr. Henry Lembacher. He's program manager at the Global Incubator Network Austria GIN, and he supports international startups, just like yours probably, to explore and enter the Austrian market. Also with me is Mr. Wolfgang Köstinge. He's the Austrian Trade Commissioner and Commercial Counselor of Advantage Austria Seoul, and he's helping Austrian companies to enter the Korean market. And also Mr. Matthias Adelwoehre. He's here for the Austrian Business Agency, and which is the Austrian National Investment Promotion Agency, and he helps also foreign companies to settle down in Austria. So I would like to start probably with you, Wolfgang, as you are the expert on the trade relations between Austria and Korea. Which companies from Austria are actually here and what are they selling in Korea?
Yeah, thank you so much, David. I'm the Austrian Trade Commissioner, so I handle all export-related themes between Korea and Austria. And there are some Austrian companies where you might not know that they're Austrian, so everybody probably knows Swarovski. They have many shops, a very beautiful flagship store as well here in Gangnam, and that's actually an Austrian company. Many of you probably also drink Red Bull. That's also not a North American company, but an Austrian company. But apart from consumer goods, Austrian companies are very good at everything related to machinery, process automation. I don't know if someone likes to play Lego. All these small Lego bricks, they are produced with Austrian machinery from Engel, for example. And there are many other very innovative companies like, for example, AVL. We had them here last year, so they are very strong when it comes to autonomous driving, for example. So they also have a big factory site here in South Korea, and many other high-end technologies from software, which serves for process automation, robotics, and so on. So there is really a wide range of Austrian companies in Korea, and for Austrian companies, Korea is the third most important market in Asia.
So what I get from this is there are many hidden champions and also global players in Austria. I think that's something you can leverage and also partner with them. So that is speaking in favor of settling in Austria. But Matthias, could you tell us, are there other reasons why you should probably choose Austria as a location?
Sure. So thank you, David, and thanks for having me today. I think there are a few similar reasons why startups from Asia or from Korea come to Austria. One is usually the market access. So usually the companies don't come just to work with the Austrian market, but with the whole of Europe. And Austria is really in a good location there because you can work with the western part of Europe, the high purchasing power markets is Germany, Switzerland, or Austria. But at the same time, you can work with the Eastern European markets, fast-growing markets, Hungary, Poland, where there's also a lot of production companies, also actually a lot of Asian production companies having their manufacturing there. So you might be able to find the customers that you're having here in Korea there. And from Austria, from Vienna, you can work excellently with both of those regions. Second point often is talent. You can find very well-educated talent in Austria, especially in the technical subjects. And I would say still at a reasonable cost. And third is subsidies. Austria has an excellent subsidy system for startups and for doing R&D in the country. So if you're a startup and you're planning to do R&D in Austria, there is really a lot of government support that you can get.
So if you allow me a follow-up question, you have brought some very good reasons. Are there also some specific industries where you think from these sectors Korean startups would have big potential actually to go to Austria?
Definitely. So I believe any high quality products with the food and nutrition are very well seen in Austria. We like to eat healthy and we spend a lot of money on eating healthy and getting organic food. So there's definitely a good market for that in Austria. But also all things concerned with manufacturing. So Austria is one of the most industrialized countries actually in Europe. Many people don't know that. They know Austria for culture, they know Austria for tourism, but we have the same level of industrialization as Japan, for example, or as Germany. So if you have products, services that match those needs, I would say the topic of advanced manufacturing, for example, then really, I believe there is a good market fit with Austria.
Thank you very much. So if these reasons are compelling for you and you now eager to explore the Austrian startup ecosystem and start to get the first foot in, Henry, you could probably tell us, how do I come to Austria? How can I get there?
Yes, of course. So as already mentioned, my colleague Matthias, Austria offers a great and strong support structures as well. For example, the Global Incubator Network, which is a program to support international startups, as many of you are here, to explore the opportunities in Austria, the market opportunities there. So the Go Austria program, that's the name. You can Google it then later for more information to dive in deeply. Offers you a group program or an individual program to explore your opportunities there through workshops, through mentoring, through different kind of events, and a very standardized and individual support from my side and my team. So in your time during the program, you can have many possibilities to find potential business partners and doing your first steps in Austria.
So quite recently I heard there was also a group of Korean startups coming to Austria, right? Can you tell us something about that as well?
Of course. So 1 month ago in Austria, the Vienna Up took place. So this is a huge startup festival which takes 1 week in Vienna. I think 96 countries participated, over 15,000 participants were there, and in this 1 week, more than 50 events were organized. So, and during this time, we had our Go Austria program there and invited 9 startup delegations from our target regions, and 1 was a delegation from Korea, where 7 startups joined the program. And for this, we organized several kind of onboarding workshops before they arrived here in Austria, and then each delegation got support by their own delegation lead and a mentor to give them deeper insights how they can benefit from the Austrian market and how to use Austria's entry point to the European Union.
So besides financial support, they also get the contacts, they get to know the businesses from precision manufacturing and so on, right?
And not forget to mention, nearly all of the costs are covered from our side, so it's worth to apply for the program.
That sounds very compelling. So if you are interested, please, after this talk, approach Henry. He will share his contact details and help you in getting there. So now I think I have to do quite a hard cut with you, Reka, because I think everyone who saw the introduction probably asked themselves, what's Bold? What's the Bold community? What are you doing?
Also, big hello from my side, and thank you for having me. I wouldn't say it's a hard cut, actually, because the Bold community is a global innovation network run by the Austrian Federal Economic Chamber, because we as Austria kind of are, I think, a very good melting point. We heard before that we are also the gateway to Western Europe as well as Eastern Europe. But I would say we're also really good in connecting countries and innovators globally. And that's what the Bold community does. We're a global network where we have forward thinkers, innovators from 4 sectors, from business, academia, science, the creative industries, and we bring in the policymakers. And we bring them all to one table, and together we're working on building the future economy. So we're looking at what are the big questions that we're all facing, that you're facing here in Seoul, that we are facing back in Austria, and how can we find solutions, best practices, and ideas to solve them together. So that's what we're doing, and yeah, I think...
So it's about people and ideas, right, rather than individual businesses. Am I understanding it right?
Absolutely. So we are looking for, and I'm also looking at all of you here sitting in the audience, we're looking for innovators who are working with future technologies. As a Bold community member, you're joining as a person, and you will be connected on the one hand digitally with everybody around the globe. So you can actually go onto the platform and you can search yourself countries that you're interested in. We of course hope that you will especially check out Austria. And we can connect you also digitally with our Austrian companies, so you don't have to always come to us and fly to us, but we can actually do that on the platform. And you will also be able to connect to the rest of the world of people working in and with future technologies in order to also get you a bit out of your silo, out of your industry, and connect you with somebody who maybe has a different angle, a different thought, and can help you propel your business. And maybe last thought, also we heard it before today here on this stage, that it actually takes that passion and it takes that courage to keep on going. And that's also what connects everybody in the Bold community. So we are all bold minds, and as the name Bold already says, people who are pushing boundaries, who want to do more, who are really there to bring us a more prosperous future, and that's what connects us all, the mindset of being bold.
That's a great, a really, really amazing idea. I really like that network as well. I think they are already Korean members, right?
Yes, we do have Korean members, and I'm here to scout even more members to join us from Korea. So if you're interested in Bold community, just hit me up afterwards, or you can actually check out our website or download the app and join yourself. Very much looking forward to it, and yeah, just explore. There's a lot of innovators in there already.
Thank you. I would like now to move from Korean members of the Bold community to probably Korean success stories on the Austrian market. Matthias, are there any startups from Korea which have already established a presence in Austria?
Yes, we have seen quite a couple of startups actually from the whole of Asia coming to Austria. I would say also due to the worldwide political uncertainty, we see that Europe as a market gets more and more interesting also for Asian startups. So we have seen companies from working in the field of AI from Japan coming to Austria, working in financial technology from China, and working in advanced manufacturing from Korea. Maybe one I can name that's quite famous here is the company A.ㅅNextRise. They're stock listed, meanwhile, here in Korea, I've been told. They started off with a 2-people office in Austria, and now I have a 25-people research and development team there. So indeed, you can see that the drive, the pace is picking up, but definitely we're happy to welcome even more of you guys in the future.
Thank you very much. So if you want to become a success story like A.ㅅNextRise, how would that look like, Henry, if you are now applying for the Go Austria program, right? And now you explore the ecosystem, what would be the next steps?
Of course. So after the startup has applied for a program and you got luckily selected from our jury, the next steps would be we are matching you with your individual mentor. So in your application form, we are asking what are your needs and what you're looking for in Austria. Referring to those needs, we're selecting your individual mentor, who is then an expert in the branch you're working in Austria, and tries to fulfill those needs as a preparation for your trip to Austria. So after this matchmaking with your mentor, we are starting an onboarding session, which are several digital workshops to prepare you for your trip then and your time in Austria and Vienna. And then if you're then luckily in Austria finally, we have a well-built and established program with several events, or which contains several events. We're organizing workshops, a bigger kick-off event, and nicer than closing event as well. And each program has one dedicated event which promotes or helps you to get in contact with the right people. And not to forget, our group programs has, beside those business-wise arguments for our program, we have one special USP as well. This is our gin spirit. So beside your business meetings and this working trip, you will get in contact and establish a bigger network with international startups who has the same aims and maybe as well the problems as you are from different kind of countries. So it's personal-wise, it's a great experience and yeah, offers you a great time then.
And is there also follow-up support?
Yes, of course. So one visit or one participation with the Go Austria program isn't the end. If you're deciding after the program, okay, this was a great time, I want to explore the Austrian market more in detail, you can apply again for a follow-up program. That means you can come again, you get again travel support, and we're covering the costs for your trip. You get support by an individual mentor, by the same one or a different one from our mentor pool. And the best part is, after the second trip, if you're deciding to finally establish a business in Austria and build up your business in Europe, we are helping you and supporting you with our Go Austria Plus program, establishing this business in cooperation with our colleagues from the Austria Business Agency and covering their 50% of the founding costs of your entity up to 20,000 euros.
So the right track would be first approaching Go Austria, explore the market, then utilizing Go Austria Plus, and then Matthias helps you setting up the business there. Am I understanding it correctly? So that's the way to go. So once...
Perfectly summarized.
Thank you, thank you. So once you're established, you become also a member of the Federal Chamber of Commerce, once you establish a business, and I think then you can utilize another support network to further internationalize. That must be Advantage Austria, the organization we are working with, Wolfgang. So what is Advantage Austria precisely doing to support Austrian businesses in that case?
Well, Advantage Austria is a network of almost 100 offices worldwide. So we have an office almost in every major city in Asia, amongst them as well, of course, in Seoul. Actually, we are celebrating 50 years anniversary. So our Advantage Austria Seoul office was founded in 1975. And we offer extensive help to Austrian companies or as well the subsidiaries of foreign companies in Austria who are automatically members of the Austrian Federal Economic Chamber to do business in South Korea. So it's not just market research or looking for importers or distributors, but all kind of useful events from business missions, incoming missions. We participate at fairs. We have group stands at fairs. Even here at NextRise, we have in total 6 startups with their respective booths. We organize seminars, workshops. So it's all sort of help that any Austrian company that wants to be successful abroad, we can provide that.
And the best is, as soon as you open your presence in Austria, as soon as you settle down there, you're also entitled to use these services. So you can really use Austria as a strategic hub for exploring other markets. So you have a great team here actually supporting you. And if you need fresh ideas, I think the way is to go to the Bold community. Reka, I heard there's another word that stuck to my mind, is the unconference. What's the unconference?
So we run once a year the homecoming of the Bold community. That's when we invite the community to actually come to Austria. And we do that with a format that is called the Unconference, because a lot of us are used to panel discussions and they're used to keynotes, and I think that's a great format. But we're trying to flip that upside down so that all of you, all the participants of the conference, actually take part in the discussion. So everybody that we're inviting and that is coming to Austria is actually also an expert in their respective fields. And that ranges from quantum computing to biotechnology, automotive industry, everything that is going to impact our society in the next 5, 10, 20, 50 years. And it's called the Unconference because it's not about just taking in information and passively sitting and listening, but you actually have to engage. And by the end of this Unconference, we're already working on ideas, solutions, best practices for the topics that we decided. So this year we're going to look at AI automation. That's going to be super interesting. Circular economy. We'll be looking at upskilling. And we'll be looking at energy and electrification. So that's the big topics we're looking at, and I think that's relevant not just for us in Austria, but also for economies across the globe.
That's certainly the big topics that will shake this world and change all our lives, actually, and affect us. I think the talk prior to us was also about artificial intelligence, right? So if I'm convinced I want to be a bold mind and I want to join the conference, how am I going to do that?
So I would really recommend to come to boldcommunity.org. Check out the website. You can sign up to the community. We'll post everything on there. And you already get access to the 2,000 global members of the Bold community that you can meet yourselves, matchmake yourself. And we're also running active matchmaking rounds. So if you let us know what you're interested in, then we're also using AI to help us match you with the right person sitting across the globe, and of course also with interesting Austrian companies to, again, create new ideas, maybe especially across industry, are I think sometimes the most interesting ones.
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. So you are having really access to very big thinkers through the Bold community as well.
Yes, yes, from big corporates to very interesting science researchers, to artists. So you have them really across the globe. We have the big organizations, the policymakers, the UN organizations. So everybody that should be at the table when we're talking about the future.
Sounds amazing. So before our time is running out, I think we have a bit left, but I would also like to hear your personal view and your tips for Korean startups who want to settle down in Europe or in Austria. So what would be your take, Matthias? What would you give to them?
Well, maybe two pieces of advice there. The first is, of course, do your homework and prepare, but don't be over afraid, right? Sometimes you just have to try out things to know if they work or not. That's number one. And the second one would be talk to us. And with talk to us, I mean everybody here on the panel today. So there's us as ABA. I mean, we have been supporting companies coming to Austria for years and years, so we definitely know how that works. There is Advantage Austria here in Seoul. They can help you get more information about Austria in Korean language. There is the GIN program. They can really support you in getting your feet on the ground, doing an Explorer program, getting your travel costs reimbursed and financed through them to really get a first glimpse on Austria. And there is the Bold community able to help you with new ideas, new innovation. So if you're thinking about going to Austria or even going to Europe, often it's not Austria that comes to your mind first when you think about Europe. Go ahead, contact us. We're happy to link you up also amongst each other, and we'll see if Austria is a good fit for you.
Wolfgang, any tips and tricks?
Well, Advantage Austria Seoul is always at your service, so please come to us and we can guide you. And well, it's quite easy to travel to Austria. You have a direct flight 4 times per week, so very convenient for you. And people are all fluent in English, so you shouldn't have any problems in communicating. And it's a wonderful hub if you for Eastern Europe, for Western Europe. So I think it's the best place to be.
Thank you. Henry, your thoughts?
I think the best advice as well, or one of the best, is reserve enough resources. An expansion procedure will take much time in your company, and if the person who's responsible for it is as well has a workload with the daily business, then it's not really manageable. So reserve enough resources and take your time.
Thank you. And Reka, your final thoughts?
I think when thinking about where to go, pick a country that kind of is a bit similar to yours in terms of maybe also hospitality. What I've seen so far is that Korea is fantastic when it comes to talking to us as guests and hosting us, and I think Austria is very similar in that. So we're very hospitable. So make sure that you actually come and enjoy that. And we are a very global hub, as I think mentioned before. So we can open, I think, doors to other countries as well.
Thank you very much. So you see, you have many dedicated people who are willing to help you with your market entry into Austria. So if you're interested, we will stick around. You can exchange business cards with us. We are always at your service. I thank you very much for joining us in this session, and I wish you a great rest of the next rise. Thank you very much.